Hello and welcome to Thought for October the 8th. Our readings are 1 Chronicles chapters 24 and 25, Ezekiel chapter 34 and Phillipians chapters 1 and 2. And our thought is, for it is God who works in you. Those of you who are young know what it is to have a workout. We understand it as a simple way of saying you are exercising to keep yourself fit. It is just as important, well, actually far more important, to keep ourselves spiritually fit. If you are really young and feel very physically fit, then make sure your aim is to also grow up and become spiritually fit. Note the phrase that occurs in our Philippians reading this morning. Paul writes, "Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, for it is God who works in you both to will and to work for his good pleasure." Chapter 2, verses 12 to 13. That's a fantastic verse. God works in us. But if we are not interested in him and do not meditate on his involvement in our lives, then we cannot expect him to watch over us in whatever workout we choose. If we choose to work out God's way, then we will be training ourselves to think and act in a Christ-like way. And then we will use our lives in some way every day to serve him. For example, we will aim to follow Paul's advice, being in full accord and one mind with those also in training. Do nothing from rivalry or conceit, counseled Paul, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Chapter 2, verses 2 and 3. We have also been reading Ezekiel, and the Jews he knew totally failed the spiritual workout God expected of them. He had been patient with them over many generations, but now all sorts of terrible things happened to them as we have been reading. Our God is very patient. He wants us to be saved, to be in his wonderful kingdom which will soon come on this earth. Just as we do physical exercises, especially the young, but also those not so young, who still want to feel young, in the same way both young and old must exercise their minds about God and Jesus by constantly reading God's word. In that way, we will know what to pray for, and our prayers will be answered, and we will sense it is God who works in us. But if we only pray when we are in trouble, is it fair to expect God to answer? Trouble is certainly coming on this earth, and we will need to be spiritually fit as fully as possible to cope with it. Let us make sure there is enough oil of faith in our lamps. Well, thank you once again for joining us for Thought for the Day, where together we can open up the pages of this word and regenerate that oil, knowing that that word is a lamp to our feet and a light to our path.